Hello and welcome to Inconceivable. I'm William.
I'm Alex.
And I'm Wesley. And we'll take a potato chip and eat it.
Yeah.
Just one?
As good as that
Just
reference
one.
We're gonna
is,
share a potato chip.
there is an unfortunate reason why we are bringing this up. Because they have unfortunately...
The reference is good, the news is bad.
The news... Yeah, there you go.
Bringing this up being Death Note.
Yes. They announced the second movie, like being the Netflix movie. Yeah, remember that one that like the very first topic that we've done on this podcast? Yeah, it's coming back for an unfortunate reason because they're making a second one.
Because
why?
why? Yeah. Nobody wants this.
Apparently, in the article when they announced it, they said that it had decent enough success. Meaning enough people.
The only reason it had decent enough success is because we were just like, this is gonna suck. We're still gonna watch it though.
Yeah.
And all the emo teenagers that have never even heard of Death Note before. They're just
like,
hey, this is cool, people die and there's a demon.
Guess what? Watch the TV show. It's better.
Yeah.
So just because people watched it doesn't mean it was good.
Yeah.
This was not one of those cases.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's
Read
kind of
the reviews.
unfortunate. But yeah, so really that just leads us, first off, why? Second off, why? No. Second off, where are they going to go with this? Because the first movie ends in a weird spot, especially for Death Note.
Yeah.
So Light is alive, but he's hospitalized.
He's in the hospital. He's in the hospital.
White Light.
And he's also been criminalized, right? Like they found him out, like,
But
he's
I don't know.
he's the guy.
I have to go back and watch it again.
And
hey,
then-
there's another view for you.
And then like they send L away too because he like pulled out a gun and basically went off base.
L went full crazy.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, by the way, for the people who haven't seen the movie. But guess what?
If for
It doesn't
some-
matter because you don't have to watch it. It's crap.
Yeah, you really shouldn't watch it.
It's filth.
Okay, so
It does not get the seal of approval.
for those who haven't been here since the first episode, hi, thank you for joining us.
Good evening.
Secondly, Death Note is my favorite anime. It's the anime that got me into anime. And it's an anime that I would suggest to anybody who's not even into anime because it takes a very amazing, it's probably one of the best storylines I've ever seen about two masterminds coming together about trying to outwit each other and proving them of injustice.
It's
Yeah.
like Sherlock Holmes anime.
Yeah, it's Sherlock Holmes, but there's two of them pinned against
You
each
mean
other.
like Moriarty and Sherlock Holmes?
Oh,
A
okay.
battle of minds?
Yeah, but Sherlock
It's a
wins.
I'm not really a big anime fan. Actually, I'm not a big anime fan at all.
We talked about this.
Yeah, but even though I haven't finished it, it's probably my favorite too.
Where have you
Who knows?
in the anime?
Just check your Netflix because that's when we were watching it last.
Okay.
Yeah, probably on episode 20 something. How many episodes are there?
I'm gonna say like high 30s, like 36, 38.
The last thing I
once.
remember is he is walking with a girl and he's like totally like throwing shade at her because she's onto him or something like that. Does that make
Is it
sense?
mean?
Oh, wait. Is that the whole thing with one of the agents that the FBI agents killed wife who was investigating
Yes.
this stuff? So you finished that arc.
Yeah.
With
Oh,
because
that's still mid.
because
in
the
story.
blonde chick is still new to me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're only halfway through the
Okay.
good stuff, and it only gets better. And
Yeah.
yeah. So, but seriously, it's so good. So
I'll just finish watching it tonight.
Just all of it.
Maybe.
just
So.
easy. But the thing I always said about the first movie is that what makes Death Note, the show, so good is the mastermind versus mastermind aspect and just these cunning ways of them outwitting each other. In the Death Note movie, instead, we got a very Final Destination-esque type movie where it's all about the deaths themselves and not,
To be fair though, I like Final Destination movies.
well...
I don't know. What that
Not
is.
because I
It's
think
all-
they're good, but because
it's
I
all
think they're
fluff.
entertaining.
It's not about
It is
the
all-
story.
it
It's
is
all fluff. Yeah, and that's what this felt like because that's the thing about Death Note is that it's very story heavy and driven.
You have to pay attention.
Yeah, and this is not that.
It's like chess between two masterminds, except you're actually watching it play out.
Yeah, except for L's
with real
awesome.
people. Yeah.
and I remember you
That
had
was
a
my
very.
Eats cake.
There was a lot of unnecessary high school drama, which I never
there
thought
was so much high school drama. It was
which I know you specifically hated.
I was not okay with that. I was like, okay, so so at first, like in the beginning,
Hormones.
they're like, oh, we've got this Death Note, we can kill people, and then it turns into them making out. They
Yeah,
just-
look, pretty
they look
girl.
at each other for a second. They're just like, oh, you're pretty. Oh, you're an emo boy in his high school. Let's go. You know. Yeah.
you know.
We want to keep
Clap,
it
clap,
subtle.
you know.
Clap,
Episode
clap, you know.
Meme review. But yeah.
So I was impressed.
Because the thing in the show, they mention his high school life like a handful of times, but literally it's so like non-important. Literally they focus on his actions of being in the police force. Like that's what they focus on.
The whole part of his high school life is that it says that he's a younger guy, okay, but he's really bored with it because he's so smart.
Yeah.
That's it. In this one, like in the live action, he's like an emo kid who's just like
he's just kind of
angst.
smart because he does other people's homework. Okay, whatever.
Good for you, except
Yeah.
not smart enough to, like, not do their homework.
And after seeing the Full Metal Alchemist live action, which debated, but I think is good, and how they went about that is that rather than trying to tackle the whole show, they took the first like decent story arc and like Act 1 basically in the show and made it into a movie.
But didn't they already
Full
plan
Metal
to do
Alchemist
3
is
parts?
longer.
Didn't they already plan to do 3 movies though from the get-go?
They have it designed so they can, but
Okay.
they haven't said if they officially are because they have to see the numbers first.
Okay.
For Death Note, they should have done the same thing. They should have like just where you are actually would be a good cutoff point. They could have hyped up that person and really made it seem like this person could be the demise of Light because she's going to leak all the information to the police force and L and hype that out as a crescendo to an ending for the first movie.
I do remember that. I remember that.
Yeah.
So I'm that far where she's on TV pretending to be him.
What? Oh, Misa?
Yeah.
Oh, but I'm not talking about it. Like,
Oh.
right before Misa is introduced,
That, okay.
have that be the first, basically the structure of the
girl.
first movie.
Yeah, okay. The
Yeah,
detective
Misa
girl.
would be like the introduction to the second movie kind of thing.
Yeah.
Basically make Death Note into a trilogy, you know?
Yeah.
And when I say Death Note, I mean taking out that last half after, spoilers to Death Note the show, when L dies.
I haven't finished it yet.
Well, I thought you already knew that.
That L dies
Yeah.
at the end of Death Note?
You knew that before.
I didn't know that.
Well, now you remember it again.
I'm not happy. It's okay, I wasn't happy either. But I didn't know until I watched
Wow.
it. So.
I don't need to be having this moment right now.
Great job, Will.
You definitely knew.
I
There's
did not know that. I had no idea. I'm serious.
You probably just forgot.
No, no.
We've been talking about the show for literally
devastating.
years.
You've never met it. You've never ever once mentioned the L dies. I'm about to rage quit, y'all.
Have a hug.
Wow.
Hug. On screen. There we go. See? It's real.
We're hugging. I always forget that we filmed these too. I have made some of the weirdest faces. And there's a bug.
Here's a bug.
There's bug.
Hold on.
Bug in the show, and there's a literally
gone,
bug.
Thought.
And he's dead. Begone thought.
You just leave him there, or not.
No.
Great
Will, for your crimes,
you.
here you
No.
go. You can have that bug.
I'm naming him Gary.
No, this is Gary.
That's Gary too.
Anywho, Death Note,
Yeah.
huh?
No, but basically the last 8 episodes aren't great. All up until that point, fantastic.
So,
I was
yeah,
actually having a
something to
conversation
look forward
about this with someone else who I was talking about the new Death Note movie, about how they could have ended Death Note better. Because literally the whole premise about Death Note is that there's no good ending for it, because it's literally the premise of thrill is in the chase. Once the chase is over, it's like, oh,
It's
like
so
a-
mad at you right now. I'm sorry, I can't get over it.
Basically, the whole it's the embodiment of it's not so much the destination, so much as the journey. I guess like that.
yeah.
That kind of line.
And that's like once
I'm
it,
sorry. I'm so sorry.
I really
feel like
thought
we're
you
mourning
were.
right now. Wesley, no!
He's my favorite.
Oh, another one.
No, that's the same one. You didn't kill it.
It literally just hit the ceiling and fell straight down into your light.
Okay.
Because
Well,
he's still alive.
So Death Note, huh?
Yeah. But the thing is that they just change. It's weird because we talked about this in the first time we talked about how this movie is trying to be something different, but also trying to be the same thing, and it really doesn't know what it wants to be. It doesn't know
Yeah.
if it wants to be something new. It doesn't know if it wants to be the old show thing.
There was some promising things about it.
Absolutely.
Like, I remember this when we
Hollywood,
talked
yeah.
about it the first time, is like, they picked the perfect American setting for it.
Yeah, and L was great up until him freaking out, which makes no sense because L is literally the chillest character in anime of ever.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, and so what makes even less sense is that if they wanted to have a less chill L, okay, fine, but they established that in the fact that he's a chill dude, the fact that doing things like guns specifically is below him. And yet
it kind of defeats the purpose of his character.
It really
Like,
does.
I don't think you can have a non-chill L. It'd be a different character at that point.
Yeah, it's not
That's
L
who he
anymore.
is.
But
yeah.
but the same thing with Light. Light is not the smartest character as he is in the show. And if they want to have a different Light and have the girl be the more mastermind person, fine, whatever.
Yeah.
Be consistent.
yeah,
You know?
Decide on something.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't
They were
think
not consistent.
Hollywood
with that.
understands how to take anime and
No.
make it good.
And I think
in
that's
live
one
action.
thing that I liked about the Full Metal Alchemist movie is that it was not American made. That was that was still originally made, where the other people was made by people who care about Full Metal Alchemist very much.
I had a problem with L from the beginning, though. Just because I feel like, I don't know, there's something about the character. Maybe the acting's just not
Maybe it was
that
just
great
weird he was wearing a
overall.
mask the entire
That
time.
too.
In a hoodie.
That too.
I was like, that's not a good idea to do when you're in public.
And I kind of liked the whole, like, sitting on the chair thing.
Oh, I love
He never
that
does
part.
that.
Yeah.
Does he?
Yes. No, he does.
do that?
He did,
does.
like-
Just, like, once
He
in
did
the
it
beginning,
once, and he just like.
But, like, when
But
they
he has
meet
his
in the
hood and
coffee
his-
shop or whatever, I would expect him to still be doing it. Did he?
Well, see, here's the thing. You know that we see L a lot more in the show.
He's
We're
bare
allowed to
feet.
establish his weird quirks.
Yeah.
We're not able to have the screen time to do that in this movie. Hence why they shouldn't try to jam the whole thing of storyline of Death Note into a movie. So that's probably one of the reasons why they're trying to change it. But they changed it in ways that didn't make sense.
So what do you think they're gonna do with this movie?
I don't know. I'm so confused because they've left it in a weird place where I felt like, I guess it was capped off. Like it didn't seem like there was a cliffhanger.
And Misa's dead, right?
Misa,
It wasn't Misa, it was like Mia or something.
yeah. Let's just call her Misa.
She
for
gone.
consistency.
She gone.
She gone. L is been victimized and is out of the country. And Light is
out of the country?
What was his name? Watashi or Water?
yeah. Watry is
Watery. Yeah.
also done.
done. And
Wait, he's out of
And-
the country?
Yeah, because they basically said that L, you've gone off the hook, you're off the case, and we're basically shipping you back.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, that's right. Okay.
Mhm.
I thought Light was.
And then Light is now in the hospital, and I can't even remember if they found out
I
that
think
he
they
was
did
Light.
find out
I
because
think
his
they
dad
did.
was disappointed in him, even though he survived.
Probably, yeah.
He was like, dude, what?
Okay, yeah.
He killed people. Come on.
So I'm assuming he's in prison. So the only thing I think of is that they're going to abandon this completely and start with the Death Note just going into someone else's hands, starting with like new, fresh characters completely. Which, if that's what they do, great. But then I would say, why didn't you do this in the first place? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair actually.
You got just enough money from it to.
Because how cool would it have been is that if you did this in America, saying that it's the same Death Note, you still have Ryuk, so you can have Ryuk in it, but say that this was like another instance of the
Ryuk.
Death Note.
Ryuk was the only good part about that
Ryuk
movie.
was so good.
Did you know that William Dafoe actually hadn't seen Death Note beforehand?
Yeah.
And he still did him perfectly?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was very happy with that. I'm just like, oh, I wish you'd watched the show,
Nobody
but
can
at the same time I was
argue
like,
his magnificence.
he's
in that.
perfect.
He's perfect. So that is one thing, is that I hope he comes back,
Yeah.
because can we have more Ryuk and just because I mean he is the person who wants, because it's not normal for
Do a
Shinigami to be
Ryuk
doing
prequel.
This. Yeah, a Ryuk prequel. That'd be cool.
I would like that.
That is
Make
something
it
I
happen,
want.
Netflix.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I don't want to say more spoilers about the show. About
Yeah,
This is dangerous now.
yeah. No, I'm
Well,
sorry.
at this point, I mean,
Please be gentle.
I'm surprised that this is the first time we've come into spoilers within ourselves.
Yeah.
I think we
really
never
sad.
like specifically said something like that, though. You know, it's a very important.
You
thing.
owe me now.
I'm sorry. Well, what is it going to take? You spoiling a show for me?
We can
No.
watch another show.
Buy me an L pop figure.
An L pop.
They have them, yeah.
Yeah, they do exist. In
I'm sorry, though.
In
It's
memoriam.
Yeah, exactly.
Rip.
But
Yeah, well-
I don't know what I'm gonna do with this. Like,
You need to like ponder after the podcast. Be like,
Well, you just need
no,
to watch.
I mean the show. Like,
the
I
show?
like, or the new movie. Like,
What is
why
supposed-
couldn't they have just done a live action show?
is it coming out?
That's a great point. It would have made
Like,
it fantastic.
it could have been a miniseries.
it
Even.
Think of like
They
Erased.
could've-
Erased was
Yeah.
so good.
They still could
Did you
have.
watch all of Erased?
all of Erased the anime, and then all of Erased the live action.
Yeah, I meant
which
the
was
live action.
fantastic.
They still could have dumbed it down, but made like a miniseries or something. How about like
That's what I'm saying.
4 hour
3
long
movies.
episodes or something?
3 movies would have been a running time of around 6 to 7 hours.
Yeah.
In the anime, you have about what, 30 hours worth? So that's still dumbing it down to 3 movies, even though 3
Yeah.
movies seems like a lot. It's not compared to a
Yeah.
TV show. You could have arced it out, you know? And it would have been so good because you would have had time to really first off, include characters that were just not included in the first place.
Yeah.
If you wanted to actually make a match-for-match live action to show, and just really establish those quirks and those really build-up moments of these mastermind plots.
Yeah.
Because the one thing I will say is that at the very end with the Ferris wheel, and he says this elaborate plan, and you're just like, oh, that was crazy. You know, like the fact that this was all planned out and every single about this was fabricated because.
Why weren't you doing it the whole movie?
That's what.
It's
and then
literally
after
like your
that,
only
I
light
wanted to flip
moment.
a table because I'm like, this is what Death Note is. Like
Yeah.
it's about these elaborate plans that makes you think like it's random, and then they explain it, and you're like, this was all thought out. This is nuts. You know.
Yeah.
And how they, especially like, the Death Note is used to make randomness seem like it's on purpose. It's like this will happen, like all just because how you can determine the outcome of somebody. You know, you say that they're gonna die, but then you can also have the asterisk of how they die. So then you can make certain things happen and use that to your advantage. And that was one of the biggest tools of Light in the show. And that's what he did at the Ferris wheel.
Yeah,
Like,
they did it one time, which was very it was interesting.
it was
like,
great.
That was another
just
thing.
doing the entire thing.
I know.
There's another thing that was different about this one is the default death for people in the movie was decapitation, wasn't it?
It was all
instead
the
of
time.
heart attack.
It was always bloody or like some
Yeah, Final
gory or
Destination.
something.
Or did he just always?
He always put a. They never
al-
not put a reason in.
In the movie, he in the movie he never left it blank. So
Yeah, because in the
Okay.
show they're like, yeah, if you don't put anything, it's a heart attack. So
yeah,
Which
which is incredibly useful.
which is also one of the main things that got Light in the show to decide that this was okay, because at first it's like, well, no one could trace the fact that it was me, and just like heart attacks. So then it was like divine justice, basically. It's like they could never track that it was me linked to heart attacks, you know. And then he got crazy with it, you know. But that was
well, as a pattern.
it was allowing him to step into it, you know.
Yeah.
If the Death Note was like, yeah, every time you have to kill someone gruesomely, he'd probably be like, nah, I'm good. I'm not gonna touch this, you know.
Yeah.
Well, he did do it in the movie, and the first kill was gruesome.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
And he was ready to quit after that.
Was it the girl who told him to keep going?
Yeah.
After
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
She's a terrible.
Because he was very 50-50 about whether to use the Death Note again.
Should I kill someone? Answer.
Should I do it?
No.
Yeah.
Should I do it?
Don't do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Ryuk was like, do it.
Kill him. Pretty much.
Do it. Fulfill your destiny. Unlimited power.
Yeah, I was not happy with that movie. You know when you watch a movie and then afterwards you're just like, what?
Why did I just waste? What? How long was it? Like an hour and 45 minutes?
It was not very long.
It wasn't that long of a
Wasn't
movie,
turning on.
which they really should have used. Yeah. Ugh. Yeah, I get more annoyed the more I think about this movie, to be honest. And I've been thinking less and less of it. I mean, like, I've been thinking, like, it's worse and worse of a movie the further I get away from that inaugural watching. At first I was like, that wasn't great, but it wasn't horrible. And now I was like, no, it was horrible. Like,
Yeah.
It's like the more you think about it, you're like, no,
Yeah.
that was crap.
Yeah.
That was absolute garbage.
yeah, I think it was just me wanting to justify it.
I've
Yeah.
been guilty of that so many times with movies and TV shows. I'm just like, it's good. I really want it to be good.
To wrap this up, what would be the ideal scenario for the second Death Note movie?
It being
The
canceled.
movie.
It being canceled.
No,
Yeah,
That's what I. I'm
here's-
sorry.
Here's
but
what the
yes.
ideal situation is. The movie starts, someone opens up the Death Note, and they write in Netflix Death Note,
Yes.
and they kill the first movie.
I don't know how you kill a movie, but okay. Just erase it from existence?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Off of all the servers.
I mean, we've seen weird, like, Days of Future Past style, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Undo the first movie, please.
Yeah. Never get the rights to it.
In all seriousness, though, I hope that they start with new cast, with the exception of Ryuk, and just start fresh.
Yeah, because your cast wasn't any good either, man.
We would have had no problems with you not using any of the original
Oh.
characters and just the same premise of Death Note, just in America. We would have been fine with that. Yeah. It would have been super less risky.
I would have been okay with that, yeah.
And then, literally, if you were replaced, like, half the reason why we're angry about this is because you're using characters in ways that they were not meant to be used.
Yeah.
If they replaced all these characters that happened in this Death Note movie with just random people that they just newly established, we wouldn't be nearly as annoyed.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Keep them to the character, based
Yeah.
on the character.
This is reminding. I want to go see Slender Man now and talk about that.
Why?
Because it's another one of those like horror things where like I'm just wondering like how far they're gonna go with it, and if they'll use the character right. I don't know.
There's
Or
a whole lot
maybe
of
that
lore behind
situation.
that. It'd be very cool.
Yeah,
They have reviews for it, so you can probably watch that.
yeah, I could do that.
Anywho, is that...
Yeah. Who wants to go next?
I mean...
Go for it, Alex.
Okay, I'll go for it. So, I know I talk about Star Wars a lot, and I'm going to talk about it some more.
This is the first time, I will say though, this is the first time we're talking about Star Wars not related to a trailer or movie.
Yeah, not a specific thing. Well, maybe a little bit, but not like one particular thing.
Right.
Basically, I'm thinking like, I'm wondering where Star Wars is going right now, because
A lot of people are.
Yeah, because Star Wars Episode 9 it's in production right now. They're filming right now, and I think like Britain or something.
Mm-hmm.
And we already have an idea for the cast.
Mhm.
We know who's going to be in it. Basically,
We know that.
we know that Mark Hamill's coming back for a little bit. I don't know how much.
Who's
but
he
I'm-
playing?
Luke, I think.
In Clone Wars?
No,
we're
in
talking
Star Wars
about
Episode 9. We'll talk about Clone Wars later.
Oh!
Let's talk about Clone Wars.
Oh! I figured he would be in 9.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
they want to use him as Force Ghost, obviously, which I
Yeah.
think is perfect.
I think J.J. Abrams wants to, give him more screen time than his last movie.
And also,
Yeah.
what's her face?
Carrie Fisher?
Yeah, Carrie Fisher is going to be in this, and how they're
They're
doing
using
it is
unused footage.
unused
yeah.
footage,
Yeah.
which I think is a good way to do it,
Mhm.
because I think it's still respectful because it's still stuff that she agreed to do and performances that she made.
Yeah.
And they got permission from her daughter to make sure that it was
Yep.
okay.
Family, yeah.
No, I'm not shaming them for doing stuff like for Tarkin,
Oh.
because I feel like enough time had passed,
He also had. There was no he had agreed for his likeness to be used.
Yeah.
I read all about that actually. Like, there's this whole list of like people who can be digitally recreated and people who can't be. Tom Cruise is one of those people who can't be. He's like so against that. So
Darn.
when he dies, that's it.
I didn't know that was the list.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's that. And then something that I found out that I'm very, very happy about is Billy D. Williams is going to be in this movie. Lando
Lando Calrissian.
is going to be in the movie.
That makes me
Finally.
That
And-
makes me very happy.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy about it. And Nub, the guy in episode 6 who was flying next to Lando.
Oh, the weird
co-pilot.
alien guy.
Yeah, the one that goes yeah.
Yeah.
That
Yep.
guy with the
He's
big
coming
eyes.
back, really?
Totally coming back.
That's totally not
awesome.
racist Star Wars characters.
Yeah,
Coming back.
no kidding.
I'm really excited about
He's
that.
coming back, Mon.
Yeah. But I'm glad that they have the
He was
original
more Asian,
cast.
if anything, to be honest
Really?
with you. Yes.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
glad they're
goodness.
bringing those characters back. So I feel like they are. I don't want to get my hopes up too much, but it feels like J.J. Abrams is trying to make things right with more people in the Star Wars community as opposed to like
Yeah.
right.
some of them.
That being said, I hope he doesn't see this as Last Jedi as a failure, because I'm sorry if you disagree with us. We all are in agreement that we liked The Last Jedi.
It took me a while. I had to warm up to it, but yeah.
I'm still not entirely happy with it, but I watched some of it earlier today, and I'm like, yeah, it's
You own
it's
it
still
now?
fun.
It is,
No, it's on Netflix.
and
Oh.
it's certainly
Oh, yeah,
I
that's
didn't
right.
buy it.
and it is certainly not.
I
on,
will someday. I'll watch the special
And
feature.
it's certainly not on prequel level. Like,
What do you mean? What do you mean? Clarify yourself.
okay, compared to the Phantom Menace and the second
love the
movie,
Phantom Menace.
which is
What?
Attack of the Clones.
Attack of the
Attack of the Clones is the single worst Star Wars endeavor ever.
nowhere close to that.
Holiday
No.
special.
I have never seen that.
Also
I
nowhere
hate,
close
I hate
to
Attack on the Clones though.
Attack,
Never watched the holiday
attack,
special.
attack of the Clones.
Attack.
Son.
Yeah.
Did I say
So-
Attack on the Clones? Well, there should be an Attack on the Clones because it's horrible.
It's the Clone Wars.
Bad.
Yeah. So anybody that you see that giving a Last Jedi review is a fan. Anybody who does reviews for movies and stuff like that all praise The Last Jedi. Now, I'm sure there's exceptions, but like the general consensus from people who review movies,
Yeah.
including Star Wars, like I watched a couple people like Chris Stuckman, who's a huge Star Wars man, gave the thumbs up for this movie. And if there was some serious BS in this Star Wars movie and how it changes the Star Wars universe, he would have been the first to call it out.
Some of the obvious things to come to grips with are like Snoke dying and like Luke's attitude towards life in general. What I've said to people about the Snoke thing is if you isolate episodes 4 through 6, they were the only 3 movies at one point.
Mhm.
If you isolate those 3 movies, what do you really know about the Emperor in those movies before he dies?
Yeah.
He's a plot device.
Yeah.
Until you get to the prequels.
Absolutely.
So it's really the same thing for Snoke, so we don't really have a reason to be so upset.
And it would be great, just like the prequels did. That's one thing
Maybe
that the
they
prequels did
expand
great.
on it.
Yeah,
Yeah, later
expand
on.
it. But right now,
That's what's cool about having a universe.
They are
that's so
going
dense
into the
and stuff.
unknown regions in this movie.
They are really?
I'm very happy
Oh,
about
they could
that.
meet Revan if he's still canon.
If he's still alive.
Oh, that's right. This is never
is
mind.
so old.
I'm sorry. I love the Old Republic.
but something that we haven't really brought up is the fact that after the Han Solo movie sat for a while, Disney is now pulling back, letting the gas off a little bit on Star Wars movies. I know you have a lot.
I'm really sad about that. You go, Rogue One is understandable, but like,
I like
and
Rogue One.
I liked.
I liked Rogue One.
Oh, I did too. I'm just saying, like, it made sense for Rogue One to be your first Star Wars story.
Yeah.
Han Solo, I actually really liked
Because it was a
but
real
let's be
Star Wars story.
Yeah, but let's be honest. Like, that was nobody's first choice for a Star Wars story.
We don't need.
We wanted Obi-Wan
We don't
or like
need-
Boba Fett or something.
Even
main
Yoda.
character-
Yoda
even
would have
Yoda.
been first on that list.
Well,
Like,
I don't know. I think I liked having mystery around Yoda. Gives him a sense of.
no. I'm just saying, as far as requests, I'm pretty sure Yoda was even
Yeah.
above that list. Than
And
Han
like,
Solo.
Probably.
I'll say it again. Don't get me wrong. I really enjoyed Solo, but like, I don't know. I think their decision. I think their decision to be like, oh, let's pull back, is really premature.
Literally everyone was
one-
asking for Obi-Wan.
Yeah,
as a
but like,
Star Wars
one
movie.
of your Star Wars movies did bad. One of them, and now you're like, oh, I don't know. I like, you get the alligator arms because one Star Wars movie
Yeah.
does bad. Come on, Disney.
I really hope, for the sake of all the Star Wars movies that we've been wanting since we were kids, that Episode 9 is good, so Disney can have the confidence to be like, yes, we can do whatever again.
Yeah.
Because right now Disney is gun shy. You know, they're
Yeah.
now afraid to pull the trigger on some of these projects that they've been thinking about.
From what I've heard, this Star Wars movie is going to be a Star Wars movie. Like they are basically gathering all their forces on either side of the, of the
Well,
army.
this is the last hurrah.
It's the last hurrah. As we know, we don't know.
But what scares me, because you were watching a video before this talking about how the guy that's responsible for the next Star Wars trilogy, and how
Ryan
that
Johnson.
it seems like they're
Yeah,
trying
what's
to
the status on that?
It seems like they're trying to convince him to make a more safe
what's
bet.
going on with that?
They're like,
honestly.
it seems like they're
that's
trying
I thought
to
it was
intervene.
canceled, and then I don't know if it's not.
Because I
or-
thought that was supposed to be like an Old Republic trilogy.
I don't think about that. I know that Jon Favreau is making a live-action TV series that's supposed to
Yes.
be based around Mandalorians.
Ooh,
So-
really? That's exciting.
I am very,
Jon
very
Favreau's
happy.
cool.
Jon Favreau is very cool. He directed Iron Man and
And he's
Iron Man
he's happy.
2. He's also in the movie Chef. You should check it out. He's also he's in a lot of movies.
He's in Friends. He shows up on
He
Friends.
was in Friends.
Yeah.
That's great.
Here's Monica's love interest.
Wait, really?
For a little while. Yeah.
Huh? Good for him. But yeah, so I'm wondering about that because again, Star Wars is getting a lot of heat, and also we got some really good news and some news. The F news was the new TV show that they're bringing to Disney X. What?
Oh, the Resistance.
News? Yeah, Disney XD Star Wars Resistance.
Actually,
I'm not that like it. You see the trailer and
it's got Poe in it.
yeah, but
I wasn't so sure about it before I saw the trailer, and then I saw the trailer, and I was like, this could be cool.
But you probably were
could
looking
be
at it,
cool.
you're like, huh.
I looked at it, and I literally said, that could be cool.
Yeah, I just.
It's an optimistic
It
is what
doesn't
that is.
make-
It's an optimistic basically.
I guess, but at the same time,
What's the really good
the
news?
really good news is that it was a very big surprise at San Diego Comic-Con. Again, this was a while back, but Star Wars: The Clone Wars is coming back for a limited 12-episode season next year on the Disney streaming channel that's going to be set up.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess we'll have to get our 30-day free trial for that and watch all of it, and then cancel it. But that was like a huge announcement, especially because like
How do we make the Star Wars fandom happy again?
Give us Clone Wars.
Give
back.
them more Clone Wars.
Which is funny because we still had a lot of flack with Clone Wars, but at the same time,
I
it was
didn't really.
cool.
What was your flack with the Clone Wars?
Mandalorians.
Oh, I think that's explainable. I don't know. I just think it's funny. We've already talked about this, but it's worth mentioning again. I just think it's funny how like Ahsoka Tano is such like a zero to hero story. Like everybody hated her.
We all hated her
and now everybody
so much.
loves her
Yeah,
for the most part. Like everybody loves her.
Especially
Like
as time has passed.
she's so
Top
cool
people
now.
only love her more.
Yeah,
and more.
and especially seeing her in Rebels. Like she's so cool.
Yeah, she's definitely a canon character now.
Yeah.
There's no denying it.
Should be cool if she for some reason showed up in episode 9. They like find her in the unknown regions.
Yeah, but
Ahsoka.
do you want me to talk about spoilers for the new season at all? Like mild
What?
spoilers?
What?
Basically the synopsis of what's going to happen.
Go for it.
So basically it's going to be centered around the civil war around Mandalore, because you know there's two factions. There was the Death Watch, and then there was Darth Maul's army, and Darth Maul was captured, but I think apparently he's going to come back, and we already know that because of Solo and Rebels.
Yeah. Although he dies in Rebels. For good.
Later though.
Yeah.
Much later.
Way later.
But basically, Ahsoka Tano comes back because if you remember at the end of Clone Wars, she actually left the Jedi Order, so now she's not a Jedi.
It's like the last arc, isn't it?
It's the last arc. It's right before the Battle of Coruscant in Episode 3.
Yeah.
So they're like bringing it right to the edge. So they're starting from like early to middle of the Clone Wars between Episode 2 and 3 to right up until Episode 3. So they're
this will bridge the gap fully.
pretty much, I think.
In these 12 episodes,
Which is going to be fantastic. And also we get to see the characters that we know and love so
and they
much.
all look so much like their episode 3.
They have
like-
made them look almost exactly like him, especially Anakin.
Yeah.
So much. Like they changed his hair and everything. And
Yeah,
I like seeing that.
They were already getting there.
Yeah.
Because like if you go back to the episodes with like where they saw all like the personifications of the Force, like the what was it, the son and the daughter or whatever.
The father, yeah. I remember that
Yeah.
one.
I'm just excited.
They
to
looked a
see-
lot like
I'm
that.
excited to see Obi-Wan back.
Me too.
That's the main thing
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
excited for.
See, the thing is that with Clone Wars, it fleshed out the characters much more. I mean, they had more time, but they fleshed out the characters so much more than in the movies. Like Anakin Skywalker, we understand his reasoning behind a lot of the things that he does, like why he turns to the dark side, basically, through the Clone Wars, as opposed to being like a brat in Episode 2, and then being like, oh, I'm gonna be bad now in Episode 3.
Because my wife.
Yeah.
Baby.
So it seemed like obviously Star Wars is having a very bumpy ride, but you know, good news with Clone Wars, which is making a lot of people happy.
12 more episodes.
I know I'm happy, and I can't wait to see it.
Me too. We need to watch that together.
We need to watch Rebels together too.
Yes.
Oh, did you watch it?
I haven't watched any of it yet.
Okay.
We should watch Rebels.
I'll watch some of it.
We'll have to like buy it or something.
We should buy it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Episode 9 is coming out next year in December.
Yeah.
And from what I've heard, I'm still, again, I'm cautious because we've been hurt, guys. Basically, we've been hurt a couple times.
I've been hurt more by the fandom than the movies themselves.
I know. Star Wars fandom. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you?
Fandoms go sour sometimes, and I'm part of the problem, I guess. But yeah,
Y'all a bunch of salty people. All a bunch of salty boys,
Yeah. Because
girls.
all the stuff that's like annoying me is just the stuff behind the scenes, like Disney trying to basically over adjust for all the stuff that's coming up. Like, as much as it's so weird. Normally I'm like, you need to listen to the fans and do all this and yada yada yada. But
they still have to take risks with some.
right, it's like
risks are
sometimes
too
you just
much.
gotta like, especially in a scenario like this when you have a trilogy. I think it's better off just to go what you originally planned, because that's part of the complaints about this movie is that they feel like they didn't go which was originally planned for this trilogy, and they made too many changes because they got too much feedback saying
They had
that.
two different directors for episode 7
but
and 8.
but people saying that they ruined Abrams' vision. Well, he was also an executive on this movie, so his voice wasn't like ignored in this movie. If there was something that he was seriously ruining in this movie, JJ would have said, no, you can't do that. Like, because he was also confirmed as the director for the last movie before the second movie started filming, right?
I think so.
No, I don't think so.
No,
he wasn't.
Who? J.J. Abrams?
Yeah, he was.
There's supposed to be a different third director.
Yeah,
There was.
I think he was fired or something.
Because JJ originally didn't want to do. They would have had JJ do all 3 films, but he only wanted to do 1.
Yeah.
So they're like, okay, we'll take you for 1, you know? And then the third guy dropped out, and they were having a hard time finding people on JJ's side, and went, fine, I'll take the last one. But I don't know where in the timeline of actually producing films that happened.
Speaking of timelines, episode 9 is supposed to happen 1 year after episode 8, so they'll have more time to have grown and become more powerful. Even though Rey is so powerful now, that's still one of the things that I'm kind of bummed about. But at the same time,
And evil boy will be more evil.
Here's something that I was watching a video talking about the new series or the new trilogy, and it really resonated with me. Basically, the problem that I have, and a lot of people have too, is the villains in the trilogy, the new trilogy, compared to the original trilogy, they are all a bunch of big babies. Because
I like
in
Kylo Ren.
episodes 4, 5, and 6, they're all very in control of their emotions, very like, proper, distinguished. Like Tarkin is not screaming orders left and right to show how powerful he is. He basically exudes. What's the word? Exudes authority, basically. As opposed to General Hux, who's screaming left and right like a little baby. And you can't have leaders like that. That's gonna make
Maybe it appeals to the kind of leaders we have nowadays.
Honestly, though, they're not as intimidating if they're just screaming left and right, as opposed to someone who's like very in control but still throwing out very scary
I
orders.
get that point,
like
but I really like Kylo Ren.
Planet.
I don't have any complaints with Kylo Ren. I like him a lot.
I hope he's much more in control of himself in this next movie, though, because he still screams a lot and he needs to, buckle down.
You need to chill.
Yeah,
I know you're the dark side, but come on.
We're gonna find out who Rey's parents are.
If they're anybody.
They are. He was totally lying to her.
I don't think he was.
I think he was totally manipulating her. How would he know? He totally manipulated
the
her.
Force. He used the Force.
I ain't buying it. Her parents are important.
That's not.
Do you know why? You know what I realized this too? Go back and watch episode 7. There are so many times in episode 7 where somebody knows.
Okay.
Really, go back and watch. What's the orange alien girl's name?
Maz Kanata.
She knows something, for sure.
Okay.
When she talks to Han Solo in the pub.
All she says is, "Who's the girl?"
Yeah, and then they go away. Obviously he says something to her. I don't know. I really feel like there's something going on, and
maybe
Kylo Ren totally just manipulated her.
I mean, that'd be cool. It'd be nice to get some more information after all that, wondering who is she, basically. And also, can they please bring back the Knights of Ren, or bring them back a person?
Yeah, no.
They're not even bring back, just bring them in, because we didn't get to see them at all. We got the Imperial Guards for, or what are they?
They were pretty rad.
They were cool. I like those. That was the best fight scene in Star Wars episode.
Yeah, what happened to the Knights of Ren? Where'd they go?
I mean, maybe they're just on holiday. They're on vacation. Yeah,
New holiday special.
We're taking a break.
New holiday special. Christmas with the Knights of Ren.
We've done a lot of killing and massacring with Kylo Ren. We're gonna take a step back. Just let him have the spotlight for a little bit. Have a nice cuppa. The good kind of chill. Definitely. So Star Wars is having a pretty tough time, but at the same time, we're still gonna go watch it.
Why does it feel like Solo was forever ago? Because Solo wasn't that long ago. Because we had Star Wars in the holiday season as well, right?
Yeah, we had a Star Wars.
Yeah, we had a really quick
December.
jump, and now we're a while away from Star Wars.
We're really far away from Star Wars Episode 9, but it feels longer because Solo came out in May as opposed to December.
I keep thinking that it's coming this... It kind of annoys me because I just want to know what's going to happen.
Other cool things.
I kind of want to know what's going to happen, not in the movie, but to the fan.
Yeah.
Because I don't feel like having a break is going to solve their problems. I feel like they're still just going to boil and fester over it.
Yeah.
That's just me. Because I don't have a problem with it.
Well, how big of a Star Wars fan are you, Will?
I consider myself as big as I can be.
Welcome to the Star Wars fandom. How Star
They
Wars
are
are you?
Intense.
Okay,
Let me tell you.
I consider myself as big as a fan as I can be without going into the expanded universe.
Okay. That's fair.
Yeah.
I have gone into the expanded universe.
I was gonna say, most of my life was consumed by Star Wars.
My life was consumed by Wikipedia.
Yeah.
The Star Wars Wiki, for those of you who don't know.
Wikipedia was my life, man.
Yeah.
I had spent so many hours on my personal page.
Back in my day, when we didn't have high-speed internet, you just read online.
Yeah.
Which is what I did.
Yeah.
I read about characters instead of reading the books.
Yep, I did too.
Mm-hmm.
I knew everything I knew about Star Wars because I read Wikipedia.
And I liked it.
I did. I loved it.
I like Star Wars. It's a bumpy ride, but I like it.
Imagine if we enjoyed doing that as much for things that are real.
What?
We
looking up
spent
stuff?
hours on real like Wikipedia.
I wonder about that. I'm just looking so much into lore for fantasy and fiction. I wish I did that for real life stuff, you know? Like important things, current events.
Alex and I finally realized the way we've been living our life, and we stopped doing Inconceivable with you.
While on the podcast, we realized that fandoms are stupid and just leave.
Yeah, it's like,
Hi, guys.
we just realized this is pointless.
I'm gonna be mature.
No, just kidding. Fandoms are fun.
Fandoms are always fun.
They give an extra little spice to life.
Sugar and
I like that
spice
little
and
extra spice to life.
Yeah.
Econ.
Still not the reason for life, but they're fun.
We'll say though, it is your time.
It is
Topic.
my time to shine
You always
because someone else is not shining right now,
Aw.
What?
and his name is James Gunn.
It's been
Let's
going
take a
on
moment
for
of
okay.
silence, yeah.
Yeah, like I'll let you do the talking, but I say that something's
Okay.
been going on for a while now that we purposely been sitting on because it's been developing, and I feel like
Yeah.
there's enough here to talk about now. That's
So here's my take, and we're not gonna get too like
Political.
deep into this, but I do just want to like give you my little spiel about James Gunn real quick,
Your 2 cents.
and then my 2
and
cents.
start from the beginning because maybe
I will
people
start
don't even know
from
who
the
James
beginning.
Gunn
I will
is.
start from the beginning, and then after I do that, we'll talk about Guardians of the Galaxy for a while. But anyway, James Gunn is the director behind Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and 2. It's really like his baby. Like
Yeah.
I really felt like Guardians of the Galaxy was his. Like
Because remember, Guardians of the Galaxy, that was the first breakaway genre movie from Marvel.
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
the first one that tried to do this,
And-
and now we have a bunch of those.
Yeah.
That
Nice.
Guardians was first, and Guardians proved the concept that you didn't have to have the action-heavy, serious tone.
We've never had a serious Marvel tone.
No, they
But
were
anyway,
more serious
like,
before.
and
that.
I really feel like that was mostly like largely due to James Gunn. And so I don't remember when the news broke on this, but Disney
say
fired.
about a month ago.
Okay.
It was a little longer than that, I think.
So whenever this happened, Disney fired James Gunn, and the reason they fired him was apparently because he said some not so nice things
On Twitter.
on Twitter like 8 to 10 years ago.
Yep.
And mind you, they were things someone shouldn't say. But my take is it was 8 to 10 years ago that he said those things, and he even publicly apologized for them.
Yeah.
Like my opinion is give the dude a break. Like in a world where we can be held accountable for things we said 10 years ago, like please, who stands up under scrutiny for things like that? Like, are you serious? Like,
I mean, Disney
none
isn't
of us-
exactly squeaky clean,
Yeah.
let me tell you.
None of us can stand on what we've said
Right.
3 years, like last year. Are you
And I will
serious?
say that I think it's the right thing to do to, I don't know if this is popular or unpopular opinion. Me personally, especially when I look on Facebook and I see some cringy stuff that I posted, I leave that up there because I feel like living with those mistakes and being like, yeah, I did say that, and yes, I do regret that. But rather than just hiding it, like
Yeah.
I pretend it
I mean-
didn't happen, I want to like that being acknowledged by the fact that yeah, I said some stuff that I don't agree with
Yeah.
now, but it's a reminder, you know.
And I know what you're saying, but at the same time, I just want to be clear. I'm not trying to minimize what James Gunn said, but it was so long ago, and he's given his reason for why he said those things.
Yep.
He's like fessed up. He's like, yeah, I was trying to be edgy. Is basically what he said. And he's like, and they were really stupid. I shouldn't have said them. Like he apologized. It's like, come on.
What else do you want him to do?
Exactly. And I know Disney hired him, and they have the right to fire him, and they have the right to have these standards for who they employ.
Right, but I feel like it's kind of like a little too late. If you wanted to
It's-
have those standards, you should have looked at that before you hired him in the first place.
Really,
and hired
all
him
you
for
did,
a second movie.
Yeah, really, all you did was you peered into the past of James Gunn and said, "That's not good for our image," so you fired him. That's what you did, Disney, and I'm not impressed.
And I don't see a consistency within
It's
their own
not.
movies and
Yeah.
within their own hires because I think another good example of this, if they want to establish this
Mm-hmm.
this tone for how they do hiring, is in Wreck-It Ralph, the person who voices Glitch or Penelope, is Sarah Silverman, which is a comedian
Yeah.
who has been known for being very vulgar and saying some not so squeaky clean things in the past. Is a little bit more politically correct now, but in the past
Yeah.
definitely was more off color then.
Yeah.
But yet she's getting a movie right now. I don't know if they want to do anything about that, but it's just I don't.
You want to look into that?
Let me say, I don't want them to do anything about her. I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't
either.
I don't
Just
agree with the things that she said before, but I don't want her to lose her job either.
Just let people make movies, please.
Yeah.
Like, come on. Like,
so
I don't know. Anyway, that's that.
Just be consistent, Disney. That's all we're asking.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
One way or the other.
Okay, so that's
Words
that.
are words.
Yeah, words are words. That's that. Social media complicates things. That's that. So, what I really wanted to spend time talking on was...
well, there should be... you add into the recent news.
What's the recent news? Oh, I'm getting there. I'm getting there. What I really want to talk about is that because of this, Guardians of the Galaxy 3 has been indefinitely put on hold, and now the actors are free to go work on other projects. That was like the exact wording. Like they are free to go work on other things now, like the actors and all the people behind the scenes and stuff.
Which is not good because that's basically the most extreme put on hold thing.
That's as far as you can go, really.
Also, we need to say that, like, if the actors were fine with James Gunn being let go, then they probably would have got another director and it would have been fine.
Exactly.
But the director,
the cast is really split on this. Like, Dave Bautista, the guy who plays Drax, is like, he is so angry. Like he's in James Gunn's corner. Like,
oh, they're all in James Gunn's corner.
Well, yeah, but like Dave Bautista, as far as I know, is the one that's been the most vocal about it. He's really angry, and I think he's even threatened to leave himself.
Yeah, he said he would leave if they did not use the script or rehire James Gunn, I believe.
Yeah, exactly.
But they did all sign, like, they all sent a letter to Disney, a formal letter that they all signed, like, please, asking for...
They're stuck in a rock and a hard place, because they've signed a contract to do this movie, but then they've also, like, you know, they have allegiances for their crew. You know, they've done 2 movies together. You have bonds with those people.
Yeah.
And
I'm sure he's been sharing his vision for the end game this whole time, and, like, they're behind him, and... I don't know. Like, it's just, man, why would you do... Like, you screwed yourself, Disney. Like, I don't know. It's bad.
You could do better. You could do a lot
Fun
better.
fact,
Yeah.
Chris Pratt, the guy who does Star-Lord, one of his first career choices was a porn star.
Yeah.
Just saying. You know, and
like, you want to fire him for that? Come on, man.
Yeah, and, like, that's so well known. So...
Is it really? Because that's the first
time.
Honestly,
he,
it's the first time
he talks about it here and there. Like, it's easily public knowledge.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's one of his, like, 0 to hero stories. They're riddled throughout Disney. Like, that's just that's Hollywood, you know?
Yeah. People are dumb. Like, come on. Like, we are.
Except you guys, you're cool.
We do stupid things.
We're all
just
please. I can't wait till we, like, look back on years at some of our opinions now and be wow, feels like great.
Wow.
Yeah.
But that's life.
That's life.
You grow.
So Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is definitely put on hold. They've been free to go do other things.
How does that affect the Marvel universe?
Yeah, I'm not thinking it's really going to affect anything that's going on right now.
They're fine with Avengers 4 because they already filmed.
Yeah, they've already filmed Avengers 4. That's all set, so that's fine. But, like, how are they going to wrap up the Guardian story in Phase 4? What are they going to do with Adam Warlock? Because that's something William and I are talking about. They've teased Adam Warlock, and in the comics, Adam Warlock is a pretty important character, even though in the movies, his role is being filled by Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
She's going to be doing the what his part was in the Infinity War
But we're
story.
okay with that because
That's fine. That's totally makes sense. I'm just saying
they need a quicker solution for this one where Adam Warlock we feel would do more justice with some longer building up.
Yeah. Especially since he's not as well known as
and
Captain
will also
Marvel.
fit very well in after we presumably have less Avengers after this next Avenger movie.
Yeah, that's the thing. So
I mean, it's already been cut down to half, so
not really. It's a misdirect. It's a juke. It's a Disney juke.
Got him.
Yeah, like you because what did they do? They killed off everybody that we know can't stay dead.
Yeah.
And they left everybody alive
who we
that
know
could
has
die.
to die.
Yeah. So like, yeah, people are definitely dying for good in this next one, and y'all ain't fooled me. Like, I literally, like, I'm sure I said it when we talked about Infinity War the first time, but I literally, like, audibly said in the theater at the end of the movie, nah, I don't buy it. And still, nah, I don't buy it. Like,
well, we were not to go too deep into Infinity War, but we both recently watched it, so we kind of like, and we had a lot of time to think about this movie. We were really set in stone, pun intended. That
what?
Not yeah.
Sorry.
All the people who disappeared are in the Soul Stone.
They in the Soul Stone, man.
And additionally, the reason why we think this is that we believe that Gamora's not dead. Gamora's in the Soul Stone
She's in the Soul
because
Stone.
you see her in the Soul Stone. Because for a while, I think I was picturing that more of a dream sequence, but now I'm looking at that as more of a
He
reality.
actually went there.
Right.
Also, I'm pretty sure that that's how it went in the comics.
I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure that's consistent with the actual story in the comics, is that everybody that's dead, quote,
Right.
is in the Soul Stone.
Because they're dead
in the
by the
comics,
Soul Stone,
yeah,
not by-
because in the comics, Adam Warlock goes into the Soul Stone, frees
Yeah.
everybody. So
Notice how the Reality Stone couldn't actually kill people. Like when you saw it took effect on Mantis and Drax,
Yeah, it's
it was only
temporary
temporary.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it would kind of correlate with the same power, you know. The Soul Stone doesn't actually it controls souls. It doesn't kill people. Like you remove
Yeah.
their souls and the person dissipates. You know, it kind of makes sense.
yeah.
So
Ooh, that's really good. Actually, you're onto something with there.
Yeah.
Like it takes, and that would
it's like the essence of the person. You're taking
and
their
that would
essence.
make sense for why she appears as a little girl to him in that, because it doesn't have to be who she actually is.
Yes.
It's like her soul. So that's the part of Gamora he connects with.
I kind of think.
So
I
that's
kind
what
of think
appeared
of
to him.
in a weird way. I kind of think of the Soul Stone as a place, kind of like heaven, and kind of
Yeah.
like how you would perceive that
Like your
person.
souls are there.
right? Because if their
Yeah.
bodies are not there, then then you got the soul. So what does that soul mean to that person? And to
It's like
Thanos,
orange heaven.
Yeah, and to Thanos, it's that little girl that he
Yeah,
picked up in the
exactly.
first place.
Well,
Yeah.
Doctor Strange, he's going into different dimensions and realities, and that's probably a different reality, basically. I'm thinking. I don't
It's
know.
like a pocket dimension.
Yeah.
It's a pocket universe.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah. It'll wibbly wobbly timey wimey on it.
Stop.
Yeah. For those of you listening, Alex is wearing a Doctor Who shirt.
But yeah,
It
Guardians of
says
the Galaxy.
wibbly wobbly.
So, but it's interesting because it's definitely gonna mess with the original timeline that they have for this. The first time in a while that we've had
Yeah.
Marvel movies have been very consistent in as far as their release dates and how it's planned out. It's been very secure. Everything's been really smooth sailing with these movies.
If not-
not many reshoots. You know, really good stuff comparing to what's
Well-
going on in the movie industry. You know.
They did do a lot of reshoots for, was it Ant-Man, the first Ant-Man movie? They had to change up
Maybe.
a lot of it.
That was the complication because they
changed directors.
they changed directors, so that was kind of like a natural reshoot.
Have you guys seen Ant-Man 2?
Oh yeah,
Okay, I finally saw it. I loved it.
was good.
I'll talk about that soon too.
Cool.
I will talk about it with you.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah.
which doesn't really have an impact on Infinity War, if I remember, with the exception of the after credit scene, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, we'll talk about
Yeah,
that.
but anyways-
another point. It was
we're
fun- it was
expecting Captain Marvel, however, that it's coming up.
That's
Yeah.
that's the first movie of that's the first movie of Phase 4, I believe.
We were looking at the faces.
Yeah,
So.
It's coming out before Avengers 4, though, right?
Yes.
Yep.
It'll be the first
It has
movie of
to.
Phase 4.
And I can't wait to watch it simply because I am, for the first time in a long time, really hungry for some Avengers movie because we're on such a big cliffhanger from Infinity War that I want any kind of answers that could be possibly
you got.
anything. I realize that Captain Marvel's not going to answer a ton of stuff, but I know it's going to provide some more theories.
Well, you
know.
won't I'm excited for Captain Marvel because the next Avengers movie won't make sense without seeing Captain Marvel first.
Yeah.
For sure, because
It's coming out, basically right before Avengers 4.
Yeah.
It's coming out March 8th.
Because we are
next
getting
year.
Avengers Wars at the end of this year, correct?
End of this year? No.
No?
It's next year.
May
Oh, man.
May again.
Yeah, they're not going to have two Avengers
I
movies
want it
in
to
1
be
year.
this year.
Oh, yeah. I want it to be the next day.
No, we got
after Avengers.
Aquaman.
Yeah.
We got Aquaman.
True.
Yay.
Yay! I'm excited about Aquaman.
Yeah, DC's like, time to shine.
Yep.
Woo!
We got some time.
We got a
Yeah,
little bit of time.
I think Disney's actually kind of like
Climbs of Grindelwald.
Disney's not doing too much in the fourth quarter this year,
Yeah, not really.
so it's giving both DC and Warner Brothers a chance to step in because they have Harry Potter coming up too.
Climbs of Grindelwald.
I'm so Grindelwald.
I'm actually kind of excited to see that.
I am
I
too.
want to see it.
I'll watch it.
I'm hungry for some more Harry Potter. You know,
Watch it.
We've talked about that. We're excited.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Disney's had a pretty big streak this year, though.
they're doing really. This is unusual for this much. Besides Star Wars,
Yeah.
and Marvel as the identity has never been stronger. They've been doing so good, so that makes this whole drama with the Guardians and James Gunn very surprising because it's it's just unusual. You know, it's different because, like I said, it's been really smooth sailing for Marvel. Not many kinks. Like you said, the last hiccup in production that they had, which was Ant-Man, that's because they had to change directors. So the reshoots were kind of natural of like, yeah, that's what happens when you change directors. You have little creative differences there.
Yeah.
So, and that, for the most part, wasn't that bad in itself.
Wow.
You know, because I'm pretty sure, what's his name? Edgar Wright realized that this just wasn't for him. And
What did Edgar Wright do?
He did the Hot Fuzz movie, you know, Shaun of the Dead.
What's he doing
Scott
now?
Pilgrim.
Why are we talking about him now?
Because he was gonna do the Ant-Man movie.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because because he realized that big production movies just isn't his.
Oh, he
stick.
did do Ant-Man, didn't he?
He was doing most
He was the
of it,
first
and then he was let
director
go.
and then stopped. Yeah,
Oh, yeah. Okay.
because just the symmetry between him and the
Disney.
Marvel team was just not working
Yeah.
out. And this was a mutual decision. He also agreed. It's like, you know, this just really isn't, because he wasn't able to do as many. He's a different kind of director, and he wasn't able to do his style of things the way that he wanted to.
Yeah. Yeah, it's seriously going to shake things up without James Gunn. It's really going to be...
However, I still think there's a chance he can come back,
He should come back.
and you should.
I think if Disney did that, then a lot of people would be like, you know what?
A lot of people.
We like Disney now. They are able to show that they can, let the past be in the past.
And
for some
I
stuff.
understand the side of people who are with Disney and letting them go, saying like, yeah, they should set a precedent and not put up with this kind of behavior. I get that.
Yeah, but
that being said,
10 years ago!
Well, just even putting that aside about the time difference, if Disney wants to set this kind of precedent, then they have a lot to say, because there's a lot of people who fall under the same category.
Yeah.
And beyond people, their own movies and several other aspects of their company. So I can't help but think that there's some alternative motive to this, because it's just so out of the blue. That's another thing. It was out of the blue. There was no like specific reason for it.
Yeah, it was...
It just kind of happened. They're like, yeah, James Gunn, he's gone. We're like, excuse me?
Yeah.
Wait, what? Hey,
It's like that gif, like...
Yeah.
What?
Because Guardians especially has been one of their most successful Marvel movies.
Like if it was any other movie director, I'd be like, oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a big gun to go. Like, he was,
Yeah, because he was so directly responsible for making this a success.
Yeah.
Which is why their actors are fighting for it, you know?
Yeah.
So, that being said, say we don't get Gunn back, the only person that I could think of who could even attempt to do this justice is Waititi.
Yeah, that's what
fair.
people have been saying.
Yeah. And I don't know, because has he done anything in Marvel?
He did Thor Ragnarok.
That's right, yeah.
That's why people have been
That's
saying
why we
it,
know
well,
his name.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but even before that, even if he didn't do Ragnarok, I'd still be saying his name, because he does that same kind of quirky stuff that's different,
Yeah.
and has that nuanced kind of directing
Yeah.
What
style.
other stuff has he done?
He did the Budapest movie. I'm trying to remember the name. The Hotel in Budapest, or
I don't think so. I don't think that was him. That was the other guy.
Yawn, sorry.
they're looking up the information. So
Thor
I'm sorry if I'm wrong. I feel pretty confident in that fact, though.
No, I'm pretty sure it was somebody else.
The Google games. Who can Google it faster? You got him?
Hold on, 1 second.
I don't know what else to say. I'm trying not there to be dead air,
Movies.
but still Googling it.
Sorry,
Still Googling.
Googling
I'm
it.
looking it up.
Google harder.
And this is the part of the show where William
Sings a silly song.
sings a silly song.
Oh, Waititi did a movie. We're not sure if he did.
Where is Waititi?
Um,
Is that even how you say his name?
Waititi?
Watiti.
I don't see anything. Let's see. I see all.
Watiti.
Oh my gosh.
It's like a tiki.
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna have to help because I mean, I'm the one who brought this up, so
How hard can it be? How long will it take for 3 20-something-year-olds to Google a name?
No, he didn't do that movie.
He didn't
what's
do
the
it.
name of the movie?
There's
What,
your consensus,
The Grand Budapest
people.
Hotel?
The Grand Budapest Hotel.
Budapest.
The Grand Budapest
Grand
Hotel.
Budapest.
Did I say Budapest?
Budapest. The Grand Budapest. I
Wes
can't even
Anderson.
say it wrong.
It's Wes
Like, I don't know how to
Anderson,
say it
the guy
wrong.
who does all the movies in orange.
The Grand
or
Budapest. Budapest.
Yeah, Wes Anderson.
Hey,
Really?
Yeah, well, he did Grand Budapest Hotel.
you said it wrong too.
Grand Budapest.
Grand Budapest.
Well then. Well, I'm wrong. I can't say much about
You
that.
heard it here first, folks. William's wrong.
Okay. I've got nothing else to say
Oh
about that. I was
no,
wrong.
Will is wrong.
No, I just don't like. I don't have any. It's like, oh, it's because of this reason. Like, no, I'm just wrong. I don't know. I have no excuse for it. I just
Okay.
It's okay.
It's wrong.
so we do.
It's
Anyway.
probably because Thor Ragnarok was different from what we're used to.
no, but I could have
It
sworn
had
someone.
such a Guardians of the Galaxy.
I could have sworn like when they were saying that this director that we brought in for this movie did such and such a movies, and I
Oh.
thought Budapest was one of them. I'm wrong,
Budapest.
and that's just it. I don't. I had that in my head
Budapest.
for some reason.
Budapest. Who's the best? Budapest.
Has
What?
anyone seen really Budapest? I thought poo.
Budapest.
Anyone seen
I
the
haven't seen
new?
it yet.
No, I want to see the
I
new
wanna see
Christopher
Christopher
Robin.
Robin.
I want to see it so bad.
I was thinking about it. We were talking about Obi-Wan, the same actor. So, yeah, that might
Have I
be
seen General Kenobi?
that might be worth renting some night as we all
Or-
watch.
See it.
General Kenobi.
Hello there.
Yeah. Hello there. General Kenobi. General Kenobi.
How do you do Pooh's voice?
General Kenobi.
Sorry, we went from Guardians of the Galaxy to Winnie the Pooh.
Oh, bother.
All right,
Anyway,
that's all we got.
that's been your weekly dose of
Us.
Inconceivable.
Inconceivable.
You're welcome.
Never threaten death. No, what? Wait, what
Always
is
threaten the Death Note Netflix.
it? No, what is it about Sicilian? Never something with a Sicilian
Oh yeah.
when death is on the line.
I will say, I did get this awesome app that does one thing, which is you click on the screen and it goes, "Hello there."
That's all you need in an app.
Yep.
That's it. That's all
So,
you need.
hello there. I can just keep clicking. And with that, this has been Inconceivable.
Yup. Stay kind, geeks.
Goodbye there.